Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. Another state bans CBDCs while 40-plus nations are moving against the U.S. dollar for the de-dollarization campaign, along with BRICS, by the way. And could XRP repeat history with a 30,000% breakout? We're really going to take a look at it and how the SEC plans to prove XRP is a security. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.19 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 1.6%. Bitcoin, 27,300 plus. Ethereum, 1826 and change. Tether market cap, 82.8 billion plus, ladies and gentlemen. 42 cents for XRP right here. We're off by 2.6% on the 7-day and 0.2% on the 24-hour. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not aware of this, link to, that's right, private equity. Oh my goodness, I am going to have so much. I've just gotten the footage over the weekend from XRP Las Vegas. Oh my gracious. You're going to love it. I'm going to be releasing that footage over the next couple of days, so keep an eye out. But right here, link to from the Fireside Chat at XRP Las Vegas told us so many highlighted things that we needed to know. But today, you need to know that there's a special going on with Link 2. But you got to click the link underneath the video in order to get it, find out what it is, because it only lasts for today. Do not mess around. Click on the link and get yourself some private equity. Same guy right here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Brad Garlinghouse. Same guy sits in a room full of central bankers, is the same kind of guy to come out there and show us all support. And we all wanted to say thank you to him for what Ripple is doing for the crypto space broadly. But you know what? The integrity of this guy is bar none above many others you will meet in this world. He wanted to come and say thank you to all of us. And how about that? Shout out to Brad. Shout out to Ripple. No doubt about it. And there's Bob Way right there. Yes, indeedy. No doubt about it. He was incredible too. This here is Cindy Young from Ripple here, and she says she was delighted to speak yesterday, it was a couple days ago actually, about the ever-important topic culture in crypto at the Financial Times Crypto and Digital Asset Summit. The discussion covered the need for diversity, addressing crypto bro culture, and how a flexible first approach is key to our values. No doubt about that. Shout out to Cindy Young and Ripple for that. And here, I want to show you, this is Stuart Alderati. He said in 1946, in its sub-CT Howie brief, the SEC unsuccessfully, remember that, unsuccessfully argued that an investment in a common enterprise was unnecessary provided there was a community of interest. The SEC was wrong then, and it is still wrong now. Common interest equals common enterprise? I think not, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is cited here. And that's exactly, honestly, what Bill Morgan, who shared his thoughts as well on this whole entire approach from the SEC. If you come down here, I won't read the whole thing, but it's really good. Morgan said that if Judge Annalisa Torres allows the SEC to get away with equating common enterprise to common interest, the securities regulator will use the same argument against other crypto assets. Per Morgan, the SEC has already started attacking the crypto industry with the fungible argument, as seen in its complaint against crypto exchange Bittrex regarding Algorand. You know, this is the danger. Common enterprise does not equal common interest, just as Stuart Alderati highlighted. And that's the problem here. They're really trying to stretch the bounds of their jurisdiction by using the Howey test and stretching it beyond what it was actually intended for. And here is an old clip that you need to hear as a reminder from Michael Arrington, former creator of TechCrunch and also founder of Arrington Capital. Listen to what Michael Arrington says back then and how relevant it is to this moment, to this day.
But what I believe is the SEC wants Ripple dead to put a feather in their cap. That's pure speculation based on nothing other than speculation. Also, the SEC is an entity that changes over time and is changing right now in terms of SEC chairs. And so what the SEC wants over time is largely going to be dependent on what the executive branch wants over time. And the executive branch just changed. So I have no idea. I have no visibility into what's going to happen to XRP at all. I believe the SEC probably wants us to go to trial. And when it goes to trial, we'll see what happens. But I don't know. And do I think it's a security? From the point of view of the SEC? No. But from the point of view of me, this doesn't matter. Like, what's a security, what isn't a security is totally irrelevant. And it really just comes down to like whether you only allow rich people to trade an asset or you allow everybody to trade an asset.
There you go.
And so when you look at like things like Uber, I was able to invest in one of the first rounds of Uber and Airbnb and Pinterest because I had wealth and had a venture fund. Everyday people who are just as smart or smarter than me also wanted to invest in those companies, or would have if they could have like looked at the business plans like I did. But the government told them that they're not worthy, that they're too poor, and so they can't make good financial decisions on their own. And so they're not allowed to invest in that. And so they don't get to make 10,000x returns on things like Uber and Pinterest and Airbnb and other companies. DoorDash is actually a funny one because I said no to it, but all my friends became multimillionaires on DoorDash. So now it's the same damn thing. The SEC comes in and they say, we don't think poor people, their definition of poor, are smart enough to make decisions that rich people are. And so we're going to stop them from doing that. That's evil. And so who cares what the definition of a security is at the end of the day? And we can debate that all day, although I'd probably tune out at some point because I don't care. What I do care about is that we should stop fraud and we should allow people to make any decisions that they want to make, financially speaking. And
that's really the truth right there. And shout out to Michael Arrington from back in 2021. And it is so relevant to the moment that we're in today, no doubt about it. And by the way, I've got a clip of Joe Indoso, COO of Link2, and wait till you hear what he says and how profound it is about that exact point. Texas introduces bill to ban CBDCs. This is falling in line with Florida now. But meanwhile, while that kind of argument is going on here in the United States, China's digital yuan pilot is gaining momentum in another province, planning to expand the use of the central bank digital currency to its public education system. And we can't even get on the same page of how to use it here. And the IMF trying to plug the dam here, it seems, because we know that they shot a warning shot across the Zimbabwe and said, do not back your dollars by gold, but they've done it. And the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has sold 14 billion Zimbabwean dollars worth of gold-backed digital tokens, around $39 million worth altogether, despite a warning from the IMF. Look, I have to say, the U.S. trying to stop it, the IMF trying to stop the change. You have to embrace the change and the technology. That's how powerful it is. Now, when you embrace it from a government level, you embrace it by regulating it, not by trying to kill it. And that's the problem, I believe, going on in the States today. Meanwhile, BRICS and 41 other countries plan to align against the U.S. dollar now, irrevocable. And, when you think about this, we already know BRICS Coalition is doing this. Not wants to, they're doing it. But now 41 other countries outside of that. And again, the danger here is death by 1,000 cuts. Not any one of these nations alone can hurt the U.S. over the U.S. dollar de-dollarization. But collectively, they can absolutely have an impact together that they cannot have as an individual nation. So this is something to pay very close attention to. And remember, as the dollar debasement takes place, it eases the stress on the rest of the world while it creates more problems here at home. That is known as the Triffin dilemma when you have a national currency serving as a global reserve currency as well. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And we know 30 countries outside of BRICS are now accepting BRICS, ready to accept BRICS currency. So take that 30 countries and understand that they're prepared to create a new currency for themselves, a new reserve currency in their coalition, and use it to drop the dollar. Now, you say to yourself, one, that's going to take years to do, and I understand the volume, the commitment, the trust, all of those things. But just for a second here, Imagine how fast this is actually moving. Now, in the history of global reserve currencies, the life expectancy is 94 years, and there is a period usually in history's past where there is a multipolar race to see who will become the next and earn the ability to become the next global reserve currency. But maybe this time around, because of the technology, we see a multipolar asset world introduced, but then it kind of remains. Because if you could use a bridge currency like XRP in the mix, we wouldn't need to be concerned with one dominant currency. With a bridge currency, you could have every nation focus on just making the strength of their nation's currency as strong as possible. And it wouldn't hurt or harm or affect another nation if there's a bridge currency in between to be the parity. It's a very, very interesting thought when you think of it, because that was actually introduced in the original Bretton Woods back in 44. But the tech wasn't there, and the dollar was chosen instead of the bank or coin, right? But today we see the opportunity to bring a bridge asset in that can serve as an insulation between everyone's currency. That way you can work on making your currency as strong and as powerful as you want within inside of your nation without it harming or the ability to manipulate anyone else's currency. And maybe because the technology is here today and it wasn't yesterday, maybe that transition can happen quicker, faster, and smoother than we've ever seen before, and hopefully without physical war. That would be fantastic. And then you have to ask yourself, could XRP hit a possible $127 suggested by the historical data? Historical data has shown that XRP doesn't pop and break out much. But when it does, it has some pretty remarkable breakouts. And this one, citing here by Eggrag Crypto in this article here, is about a 30,000% pump, which has happened in the past 2017, 2018 timeframe with XRP's history. There is no, and I mean zero, guarantee that that could happen. And let me tell you something. Although I personally myself believe that, not financial advice, my digital perspectives, that it can achieve those heights and well beyond that. I believe XRP has the ability to serve as a 4 and 5 digit token at some point in the future. But I can tell you, as someone who's in this space, I do have a plan to take some profits this time around. I have watched XRP grow and go up and go all the way down, and I buy it all the way up and I buy it all the way down. And I bought it for the last 4.5, 5 years of this market being down. But what I can also say is that regardless of whether it hits the 127 or not, I take an approach, and this is just me sharing my digital perspectives, not financial advice. But I've taken an approach in the last several years where I have a bag, a shallow bag as we refer to it here, that I plan to take at 10 or 20 bucks, depending how fast the market may be moving or not, and what the current situation is at that time. And I have something I'm going to take so I can taste some profits on that. But ultimately, I have a long-term portfolio which I do not ever intend to sell, because my ultimate dream is that I would never have to sell my XRP, but be able to stake it somewhere and earn a return on that asset and never have to sell my XRP. So there's my approach from short-term, long-term, and I hope that helps others at least begin to think about your approach if you haven't had a chance to do so yet. Again, not financial advice to me, but will we see a 30,000% pump and a $127 XRP, or will we see a 30% pump, right? We don't know. We can't know. But I tell you what, it doesn't keep me from not being grateful for the people like Crypto Bull, Eggrag Crypto, Coins Kid, and so many others, Dark Defender, and all the other technical analysts out here. Blockchain Backer. I appreciate these guys coming out here and sharing their perspectives on what the market looks like and where we may or may not be going. And it's the most exciting thing I've ever watched in my life. Look, that's going to do it for me. Hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I'll catch all of you on the next one.